What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Alex here from Team Generations, back again with another deck profile. Today we're going to be looking at an updated list for my favorite archetype within Bermuda. This is Top Idol Pacifica. So this boss unit came out during Crystal Melody from last year. I believe it still pretty much is the strongest of the three. It's kind of just stood the test of time a little bit better than Riviera and Coral overall. I think that with the new support that it received out of Twinkle Melody, it's still a very good deck and kind of just accelerates the strategy a bit more, kind of protects its units, and does a whole lot more of what you're really looking to do to kind of compete in today's metagame. So without further ado, let's jump right into the deck list and I'll show you a test and also afterwards how to play it. Alright, before I begin, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to all of you guys. Thank you guys so much. We're at 250 subs now. I really can't believe it. I see every comment, every like I said, so really appreciate it. If you do learn anything new during this video, or maybe just checking out the channel for the first time, I ask that if you do learn anything, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, maybe leaving a like on the video. But without further delay, let's jump right into the list itself. So we are starting off with our boss unit herself, 4 of Top Idol Pacifica. Her skill, act on Vanguard circles once per turn. We can Soul Blast 1 and activate all the effects below according to the number of rear guards with Pacifica in their card names. 1 or more, this unit gets 10,000 and an extra drive until the end of turn. 2 or more, we get 2 imaginary gift forces, and 3 or more, until the end of turn, when your opponent would call from his or her hand to Guardian Circle, he or she must call 3 or more at the same time. So really a super powerful card overall. Like I said, kind of stood the test of time in my opinion. Very simple, yet there are small kind of like intricacies to it. I think, obviously, first off, we don't want to be rewriting this at any point. Like, once you put your one Pacifica down, that's it for the game, never rewrite, because we want all of our Pacificas, obviously, on our rearguard circles to generate as much as we can of that skill. Just be cognizant, too, sometimes. I find that newer players of Pacifica, sometimes, like, they go for that 3 or more skill, like on their very first grade 3 ride. If your opponent is at like 1 or 2 damage, though, they might just be like, you know what? I'm not going to try to empty my hand yet. I'm just going to take a bunch of damage, get a lot of counterblast from my turn, and see if I survive. So just a heads up with that. Like, if you have the 2 or more skill go off, you're peppering your opponent, you're kind of baiting them into dumping some cards from their hand as well. So I think the 3 or more skill kind of is for your second grade 3 ride. It's completely up to you though. Like, if you know the game state is in like your favor and you're really trying to just end game on your first grade 3 ride, like, go for it 100%, but yeah, just be cognizant of that. I feel like that's just kind of like a style tip. The extra drive allows us to put a little bit more pressure and maybe bait out a perfect guard with our Vanguard, so we can stack the force markers on our rear guards and just have really powerful swings overall. So yeah, nice little card, nice little guard restrict, nice little extra drive, putting on that pressure. There we go. Next up for our grade 3 lineup, we are running just 2 of her now. This is Refined Poisier, Ursia, I think? Yeah, Ursia, I don't know. Anyway, auto on Van or rearguard circle. When placed, we can counterblast 1, search for up to 1 Top Idol Pacifica from our deck and drop zone. I think this actually got eroded to deck or drop zone, just that FYI. And then reveal it, put it into our hand, and if you searched our deck, we get to shuffle our deck. So, very powerful card. This is kind of just like thinning your deck for an extra copy. Consider this an extra copy of Pacifica almost. It's nice too because there is another card too that allows us to boost with her. So, you know, having a 13k booster, definitely effective. So yeah, I don't think this is like a necessary 4 of anymore. We have a lot of other cards we kind of had to make space for in the deck now, but very effective still. I am still running it at a 2 of, and we don't have too many other things in the deck that really eat up counterblast, so it's nice to have that card. Next up, we are moving into our grade 2s now. So we are starting off with our new grade 2 support. This is Expect Rhythm Viera. Act on Van or rearguard circle once per turn if our Vanguard is Top Idol Pacifica or Expect Rhythm Viera. We get to counterblast 1, put another rearguard on the bottom of our deck, and call up to 1 normal unit from our drop zone to rearguard circle. Choose all of your rearguards, and until the end of your opponent's next turn, they get boost and cannot be chosen with your card's abilities. So again, another card that's kind of like multifaceted, a lot to unpack there. If we want to, let's say, you know, we have an Ursula or something, you can then counterblast 1, put a Pacifica to the bottom of your deck. If this guy's in your, you know, drop zone, you can actually call this because this is when placed, not just placed from hand. You can then counterblast again to basically get that Pacifica back out and have her skill go live so that all of your Pacificas are protected. Again, they can't be chosen by your opponent's card abilities. I think like Gauntlet Buster actually gets around that still because you're not choosing the cards, you're choosing the column or the row or whatever. But very effective, really just keeps your Pacificas on the rearguard circles and just like away from your opponent's different card abilities. I really like this card. I find that it's very effective. Giving everything boost as well is super awesome. It's not just like 1 or 2 specific units, it's every unit. So if you have anything that's maybe even more powerful than 13k, which we do kind of run in this deck, I'll show you in a second, you can definitely boost with that. So yeah, very good. It's quite a few different combos here. We're not afraid to use our Pacificas as PG fodder anymore if you run PGs in the deck or whatever. So yeah, being able to search that out is very nice. All right, out of the drop, I mean. All right, next grade 2 then. This is another new card that we did get. Don't crucify me, I do have the triple rare versions, just didn't put it in here yet. This is Top Idol Aqua, so its continuous skill on Van or rearguard circles. During our turn, if we have another unit in the same column as this unit, it gets an additional 5,000. Its second skill, auto on Van or rearguard circle. When placed, we can return up to one of our normal units on rearguard circle to our hand, and if we returned a card, we get to draw a card and then discard a card from our hands. This ability may only be used once per turn by a card with the same name. So very effective in culmination with another card. This is good too because like I said, with the what was her name? The Vieira, basically you're allowed to boost then with other grade 2 units, whatever units you really want. So this gets 15k booster, hits nice little numbers. It's nice too because if you are just swinging with her, basically if your opponent is at grade 3 and they hit a trigger and their Force Clan, basically you're going to be swinging, if this is boosted by a grade 1 8k body, you're going to be swinging for 23, so at least it hits. Nice little booster. It's nice too to cycle through the cards, just dig a little bit deeper in your deck to see if you can get that Pacifica. This is nice too because you can pop out another card, I'll show you in just a second, to extend your play. So very effective overall. I really like this card. Kind of became a staple in almost every Bermuda deck now, so it's very nice that they included them as box toppers because I don't want to swap all my sleeves for all the different decks. All right, next up, this is an oldie but goldie. Again, this works really well with that Top Idol, the Top Idol Aqua. This is Choco Loveheart Lisolette. In hand, continuous, its skill is that it can be called as a grade 1, then it becomes a grade 2 once it's on the field. Its second skill, auto on Van or rearguard circles. When placed, we get to look at the top card of our deck and call it to rearguard circle or put it into our soul. This ability may only be used with the card with the same name once per turn, so very nice for popping out, getting a little bit deeper into your deck. Maybe you can get a Pacifica off this, maybe if you check a Top Idol Aqua, that just kind of extends the play a little bit further. You're just gaining more advantage, cycling through your deck a little bit more, just digging for those pieces that you really need. And it's really nice too because we do actually, you can soul charge with this. This is a deck that does require soul. You absolutely need soul to get Pacifica's skill off. Once you run out of soul, you're kind of dead in the water. You really need that. So I feel like this card is 1000% necessary. I feel like it's almost necessary in all Bermuda decks really, but helps you in the early game, helps you get that resource that you need. So yeah, I'm running it at a 4 of. Very nice card. It's always stuck around all of our Bermuda decks. Also for soul charging, I know I kind of mentioned that Pacifica needs it, but this is another card that kind of needs it as well. So from this is from Colorful Pastoral Carol. Its skill, auto on rearguard circles. When placed from hand, we get to Soul Blast 2, search our deck for up to 1 card with the same card name as your grade 3 Vanguard, and reveal it, put it into our hand, and then we shuffle our deck. This ability may only be used by the card with the same name once per turn. So I know people are kind of on the fence about this one. I tried it at 4, tried it at 2. I feel like 3 is kind of the sweet spot. You don't always need to see it 1000%, but I feel like it is a really nice card. You're just simply searching out your deck. This is just getting another Pacifica, which is really facilitating what you're looking to do in the deck, really making sure your super grade 3 engine kind of goes live. I do like it, and with the Lisolette kind of soul charging on occasion, I feel like we're not really running out. There's another card that we cut to that doesn't take a Soul Blast, whereas previously it might have, so I feel like there's a little bit more room in the deck for it. Not, like I said, 1000% necessary, but I like it. I am running it. I find that, it's just thinning out our deck a little bit more and giving us exactly what we need. And the melody scale, we're not really too concerned about for that because there's nothing else in melody in this deck. Alright, moving into our final grade 2 then, I'm still running 2 copies of this card. This is Crowning Partner Abane. Its skill on Van or rearguard circles, auto when placed, we get to put up to 1 face-up Top Idol Pacifica from each our drop zone and our damage zone into our hand. If we put it from the damage zone face-up, we basically just replace that same card with another card from the top of our deck, and then this ability may only be used once per turn. So nice to just, no pun intended, fish out your Pacificas that may be in your damage zone. Like obviously if they're in a damage zone, like you don't need to just heal out, you can pop this card down. Also if it's in our drop zone, you know, for whatever reason, you can just pop this guy down, you get it as well. Just a nice little tech option. I think that there still definitely is room for this card. There are occasions where you do need to grab it from your damage zone for whatever reason. So I really like this card still, and I'm still keeping it at a 2 of as kind of like our tech option. If you want to bump that up, you can. Maybe bump down like the Caros if you don't want to buy them. Definitely is possible as well. All right, moving on then to our grade 1. So we finally got the grade 3 searcher for Bermuda. This is Mermaid Idol Sedna. Again, I do have the triple rares, just don't want to swap them in and out from this deck, but continues on van or rearguard circles during our turn. If we have another unit in the same column as this unit, it gets an additional 5,000. So very easy to hit that additional 5,000 requisite. It's super easy in this deck. We're spamming units all the time, pretty much always going to have this off, so very nice to have that 13k booster. And obviously it is the grade 3 searcher, so it still shares that same skill with all the other V premium or standard, whatever you want to call it, grade 3 searchers. That one place from hand, we get to search the top 5, add a grade 3 to our hand, and then basically if we added one, we get to drop a card from our hand, so just filtering for that grade 3 really. So this really helps us increase the consistency of the deck for pretty much no cost. You're just kind of filtering through your hand for it. So yeah, running it at a 4 of, very necessary. We always want to see Pacifica. We never want to ride Ursula. If you ride Ursula, you know, you're just a little too slow. I feel like you can't, it's hard to come back from that. All right, next up, we received this new support out of Twinkle Melody also. This is Rainbow Shard Urinate. So this is auto on van or rearguard circles. When placed, we get to look at 7 cards from the top of our deck, reveal up to 1 card with Pacifica in its card name from among them, and put it into our hand. We get to then shuffle our deck, and this unit gets an additional 3,000 until the end of turn. So there previously was that grade 1 that, I think it was like a counterblast that it could have been paid with the Soul Blast, and you would basically look at the top 5, top 7, I forgot what it was. But this card is just a lot more free, gets you that extra little power buff that you need as well, so helps you hit better numbers overall. Really glad they gave us this like free top 7. I feel like any successful deck that really like needs one specific Vanguard, like always kind of needs a top 7 searcher. Like I'm kind of mad still that Victor didn't get one. Maybe they'll, you know, release a promo or something, but I feel like, yeah, this is just a great card. Consistency, it's kind of obvious why we run it, so yeah. And then for our final grade 1s, these are Special Message Aurora, sorry. Auto on van or rearguard circle is when placed, we get to draw a card and then discard a card from our hand. This card may be used basically just once per turn. This card with the same name. So I like this card because you're actually drawing before you drop. I know like a ton of units honestly do like a drop draw. I don't like that. I like to know what I'm gonna drop kind of first. So I feel like this is just infinitely better because of that. And this isn't like, there's no like other cost associated with it. Really is just a filter, and we're trying to get our Pacifica out of deck and just into our hand as much as possible. This kind of helps us do it. So used to be a 4 of, but now I'm just running it at a 2 of to kind of make space for other stuff in the deck. Moving on then to our trigger lineup. So this is something a little bit spicy. You can definitely change it up if you don't like, but I am running 12 crit and 4 heal. Now, hear me out on this. I think the reason I really want to go for these 12 crit is that we have this extra drive. We're a deck that can potentially run out of juice. Like, if you don't have Soul Blast and if you're not in a position to like spam it down Lisa lots to kind of fill your soul back up, like you don't have 4 grade 3 turns. Like you're lucky if you get like 3 grade 3 turns really. So I feel like with that extra drive, we just have to put on as much pressure as possible, and we're making huge numbers here. We're putting that guard restrict on them. Like we have enough to draw out and really get out our key pieces to our hand. We don't necessarily like absolutely need draw triggers. It's not incorrect to run them. You can totally do that if you want, but I feel like the little extra pressure that these Sentinel crits apply just is totally worth it in this deck. So 12 crit, 4 heal. I'm not brave enough to ditch the heals on this one quite yet. So yeah, all right, cool. Thank you guys so much for watching so far. Again, if you did learn anything during this video, I ask that maybe you hit that subscribe button. We're gonna hop into a test hand now. I'll show you kind of how the deck plays and my thought process kind of while I go through. All right, let's shuffle up here and get a test hand going. Overall, this deck is like pretty consistent. I would say that like your first grade 3 ride, it's like almost impossible not to have at least 2 Pacificas on the field, or just one additional, rearguard Pacifica. sometimes that's all you really need, but it's very easy to get 2. I think it's just a really great deck overall. I'm really enjoying Twinkle Melody. I think that they gave the appropriate amount of power to every archetype, even including like the budget ones. I know this whole deck, this whole set's kind of budget, but yeah, I'm really glad they didn't like overpower it like a Melody or a what was it, the other set that came out, the Riviera that came out in Crystal. All right, let's put those 2 back. Let's really pray for a grade 1. One more. No grade 1. Oh, let's see if we shuffle it up. Can we draw into one? All right, let's see. Let's assume we go first. Oh, we do hit that grade 1. Wow, look at that. Ask and you shall receive, as they say. So, all right, let's just assume we go first, as we do with all of our playtesting hands. We're gonna ride and draw off that ride. Anything else I want to do? Yeah, top 5 obviously. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to call that other top 7 searcher. Very nice. We did get that Pacifica to our hand there. Very, very good. Super consistent. Like I said, really not hard to get multiples off at all. What am I going to ditch then? I'm actually going to ditch. We don't have that grade 2 to recur our Pacifica, so I don't know if I want to ditch her necessarily just yet. We don't have a Caro to kind of like summon him out to the field, but let's just ditch a shield. We're kind of early in the game. It doesn't really hurt us too much. And then let us then call her. Let's check the top 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Did we hit that grade 3? No, we did not hit a Pacifica. All right, no big deal. The deck is still pretty big. It's kind of hard to hit that. We'll be able to use her again next turn too with Idle, which is really, really nice. All right. Go into our opponent's turn, take a damage for their turn. All right, we're going to stand and draw. Then it's our turn again. We are going to ride Lyriquour. We are then going to look at the top card of our deck. Do we want to call it or do we want to put it into Soul? I don't think we really need this one. I'm going to put it into Soul just in case I do find like a Caro. It's much easier to pull off and get another turn with that. So yeah, don't really need that, right? Nothing in there. Yeah, no. Let us call her down, and we're going to use her skill. We're going to return one of our other normal rearguards to hand. We're going to draw a card, then ditch a card from our hand. So wow, we got three of these. Okay, this is very nice. This is a tough one, but I am going to. Do I even need that? This is tough. Do I ditch shield? Yeah, we're only at 1 damage. I'm just going to ditch the 15k shield again. All right. We are then going to place her back down. Let's go here, actually, just because she gets the extra +5, and we're going to search the top 7, +5 if another unit's in that same column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Let's see, did we get her? No, we did not. Okay, no big deal. We got 3 in our hand. That's all we kind of want anyway. 1 to ride, 2 on the rearguard circles. What we really want now is actually the grade 2, because that protects our Pacificas and can recycle a normal unit from the drop zone. A lot of different plays you can kind of do with that, and you can call it like over Aqua to call her back out, extend the play. So very, very nice. We're gonna go into our turn here. So we are going to, this is, if we did add, what is it? Put your attribute deck in this unit. No, I guess it still gets 3 even if it just searched. So yeah, 11, 11, 15. That's 26, right? Yeah. The 26. Actually, I'm gonna swing with my Vanguard first. Boom. Oh, we did get her. Nice. And then we're going to swing with that 26. All right. And then over to our opponent. Let's assume we take 2 damage. 1, 2. All right. Crit. Shuts them off. We're going to stand and draw. Very nice. So we got a whole lot going on here. Let's go with a Pacifica ride. We're going to get her down, which is very, very nice. Let's see. What do I want to do? Oh, I know I can get her back with that. Yeah, let's do this. Let us then call her down. We're going to put her in the drop. We're going to use her skill. Actually, we're not going to use her skill yet. We're going to do 1 and 2. Yeah, we're going to do 1 and 2. Now, this is an act, which is really nice. So I think the wording of this basically means that you have to have those cards out on the field. Choose all of your rear guards until the end of your opponent's next turn. Like, it's not like a continuous thing where like all your rear guards get, it's choose all of them. So I think you need to have your Pacificas down before you activate her with the axe skill, which is not bad because if you have other combo extenders, whatever it is, to really get them out of your deck, you can choose when to activate her, but we're going to do that. We are then going to counterblast 1. We're going to put this card to the bottom of our deck. We're then going to call her back. Don't want to do that. Yeah, we're going to call her back out. We are then going to call her. No, let's put her here, actually. Yeah, we're going to put this back to our hand. We're going to draw a card. We're going to ditch a card from our hand. Let us ditch. We can kind of do this over and over with the Aquas, so let's ditch her, so we can't use more than one per turn, the same card name. Yeah, let's do that, and then we drew her, right? Yeah, so we still have 3, and we are going to play her back down there. Do I want to do that? No, let's actually go here because, yeah, okay. Alright. This is already going to get force markers and all that good stuff, and 13 is a little bit more effective on its own than 10 is. So I Soul Blasted 1. I have 2 others, so I get 2 imaginary gift forces. So I'm going to go 1 here, and let's just beef up the 13k. Yeah, let's do this one. Let's do this one. So this is now a 13, 23, 33k column. This is now a 10. This is 20, 20, 33, also 33, so very nice overall. This is 23 plus 15. It's actually going to be 38 with a triple drive, right? This is 15 plus 23, yeah. 38 triple drive, 1, 2, 3. All right, let's assume we give the crit. It doesn't really matter over here. All effects over there, let's say they, guarded that, whatever the case may be. Going to swing, going to swing. All right, over to our opponent then. And again, we can't be chosen by opponent's card effects, so our Pacificas are okay. Are we good for the next turn? Yeah, we can get that final one out there too with the Ursula, which is very nice. All right, over to our opponent. Let's assume we take 1 damage. No heal trigger, no other trigger. So let's guard at 1 attack. Let's guard 2 attacks. Take 1 more damage. Boom, power heal, which is very nice. Lucky for us. All right, let's just assume it's our turn then. All right, we are then going to stand and draw. Got a Lisalet, that's pretty nice actually. What do I want to do? I want to go right into it though. I'm going to call that, do that Ursula. I don't need to do it twice. Let's see. Conserve a counterblast here. Play her too. Let me see this really quick. So if I put her there, I'm going to ditch the Aqua. I'm going to use her skill. Going to then counterblast 1. Whoops, I thought that was already down. Going to counterblast 1, search my deck for the last Pacifica. There she is. Going to add that to my hand. Shuffle my deck. We are then going to... What do I want to do? Yeah, let's call her. And let's use this skill. We're going to counterblast 1. We're going to put this unit back onto the bottom of our deck. We are then going to... do I want to do that? Yeah, I'm going to call her. Nah, let's not call her. This is going to be 15. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to call her. We don't really need to do anything with the least slot and stuff. We have plenty of soul. I'm going to call her just because she's a 15k booster, which is really, really nice. I'm not going to activate her skill. Yeah, return up to 1, so you don't have to do it. Yeah, I think that's it, right? Yeah, all right, cool. So now we are going to Soul Blast 1. We're going to get the big powerful force markers because we're still in the premium, as we call it now, or standard, whatever you want to call it. Standard for the moment, I guess. All right, so we got our rear guards even bigger now. All right, let's go. 38k swing, triple drive. This is 3 cards to guard because I had 1, 2, 3 Pacifica rear guards. So 1, 2, and 3. All right, we got 1 crit there. Put it wherever, but it's kind of the gist of the deck. Just really spam your Pacificas out. Aqua helps us extend those plays a little bit, as you saw. She helps us get that back from drop, so you can call over Aqua, so you're not like hard negging the same way. But overall, I really, really like the deck. You can swap in the draw triggers if you really want to. Like I said, though, I think I'm really just going for that kill pressure. Sometimes you really need that. So in this deck, you can definitely accomplish it. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. If you guys did learn anything, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button. And this is Alex from Team Generations signing out.